You listed your home, you waited for offers, and you got crickets. Does that sound familiar? Well, you're not alone. Expired listings are on the rise, and in this video, I'll reveal the top reasons homes don't sell and how to fix it fast. Hello, I'm Frank Kenny with Living in Los Angeles South Bay, and today we're going to talk about homes that don't sell, also called expired listings. In any real estate market, there's always homes that don't sell or simply they expire off the market. It's a common thing, but over the past year, expired listings have become even more common. There are a myriad of reasons why a home doesn't sell, and I'll get into the top 11 reasons here in a minute. And some of the reasons may surprise you. As you know, a seller doesn't list their house for it not to sell. I mean, why go through all the hoops, struggles, time, money, and aggravation to list your house and have it sit on the market for a long period of time and not sell? That would be stupid, but there are always those who say they will list their house for X dollars and won't budge from that. They usually know it's not going to sell, but they do it anyway. That said, it's safe to say that most sellers, when listing their home for sale, intend for it to sell. Now, here are 11 reasons why a home didn't sell. Number one, I think the number one reason is you didn't hire me. And the number two reason is, well, go back to number one. Well, of course, I'm just kidding. Haha. So I think the number one reason, and this is why I put this as number one, is because the price is out of line with the market. The market is the buying population that would be interested in buying a home in that neighborhood. Some sellers think it's 2021 and they can command more than top dollar for the home. And there are various reasons for this, and a couple of them are, first, the seller wants to be greedy and start high in order to negotiate. This is a huge mistake, and if that's you, talk to me and I can walk you down that road. Second would be the seller thinks their house is worth more because a neighbor's home was sold in the past, and of course this house is better than theirs. Honestly, no buyer cares about what the neighbor's house or what you think the value should be. The sad consequences of overpricing a home for sale is that almost always the seller will net less money in the long run. Many times homes get listed at overvalue due to several reasons. Some of those are number one, the seller would choose an out-of-area realtor for some reason, and choosing an agent from out of the local area has several negative consequences. First, the out-of-area agent doesn't know any of the local agents, so they would be hard-pressed to market to any of the local top-producing agents because they won't know who they are. And this can severely hurt the chances of a home selling. Second would be, more importantly, the out-of-area agent will not have a supply of buyers looking to buy in the area, and that will obviously hurt the selling chances. And third, an out-of-area agent will not be motivated to show up to the house to facilitate showings of a home, much less promote the home for sale. Homes usually don't sell themselves, so it's important for the realtor, no matter where they are located, to sell the home to the neighborhood, buyers, and realtors alike. Another reason a home may not sell is because the seller chose a family member. In my opinion, that relationship is way too close. It's not a problem if the realtor family member tells the seller what they need to hear, and sometimes the relative agent may not feel comfortable telling the seller what they need to hear and simply cave in to the seller's wishes. All sellers need to hear the truth in order for a home to get sold. Or it could be that the seller feels guilty if they don't list with their relative. Either way, it's a bad combination. I took a listing last year that was a relative situation. The house was on the market for 2 months with no sale. The seller hired me and I had it in escrow within a couple of weeks. They just needed to hear the reality of what's going on in the market. Similarly, the seller listed the home for sale with a friend who has a license or they just got their license recently, and the seller may feel guilty if they don't use them. Or the agent, that is a friend or relative, may entice a seller with a lower fee just to get them to list the home with them. Either way, if the seller caves or if the realtor caves, and if the home doesn't sell, what is that going to do to the relationships? And like the relative or friend situation above, perhaps the agent was referred to the seller by a friend or relative. Again, the agent may not tell the seller what they need to hear, or the seller may feel guilty if they don't use that referred person to list the house. Pressure, self or otherwise imposed, is never a good reason to choose a realtor to sell a home. You must always do your research and due diligence or risk the chance of the home doesn't sell. I've seen similar situations where a lawyer referred a realtor with similar results. It's always a good idea to do your research. Number 7, and speaking of research, that brings up another reason why a home won't sell. The seller must always do the research, if not only the agent or agents they're going to interview, but also do research on the local real estate market. It's important for the seller to be even just a little knowledgeable about what's going on around them in the market. You don't need to be an expert with tons of research, but at least have an idea so you can discuss it with your realtor of choice. Discuss details with them because the realtor is and should be working on the same team as the seller. The 8th reason a home doesn't sell is because of condition. I've seen homes for sale that look like they should be in a homeless encampment. In fact, I recently went to a home being sold by the owner and it was disgusting. As I walked into this mess, she said she was sorry for the smell as they are fumigating. Obviously not a good thing to walk into. I asked, fumigating? For what? She replied that they have been overwhelmed with cockroaches and they just sprayed for them. The house was dark and not lit, so I'm thinking, these things are scrambling around and going to climb on me and I will never know. I could not get out of there fast enough. But these people thought they could sell their house in this condition, much less she was the owner selling on her own. When I asked why she was selling on her own, her answer was because she knows how to do it. Clearly not. No buyer is going to pay for a home that is a mess. You may be used to your living style, but do not expect a buyer to want to move into or accept your lifestyle. They can't see past it, and if this is you, this condition boils back to price. So reread number 2 above. The 9th reason a home doesn't sell is because the seller refuses to negotiate with the buyers. I've had people tell me they're going to sell at X dollars or to hell with the buyers. If you're a seller, especially in this challenging market, it would behoove you to work with buyers to get an accepted offer and sale. It's almost a requirement in this market. The 10th reason some homes don't sell is basically the seller chooses an agent based on the cost of service. The old saying is very true. You pay for what you get. But some sellers need to learn the hard way, and when they do, they usually opt for the best agent that can do the sale, costs aside. As mentioned above, if a house doesn't sell, the seller will usually net less money than if the home sold in a reasonable amount of time. And number 11, there are a number of other reasons why homes don't sell, but I'll end the list with this one because surprisingly, I see it often and you probably have too. That is a home listed for sale with terrible photos. Gone are the days of cell phone photography for home sales. Cell phone photos simply look terrible online and they give the buyers the impression that the seller just doesn't care about the sale of their home. A professional realtor will spend the appropriate amount of money to get great professionally edited photos and drone shots of the home for sale to convey the home's quality to the buyers. Another note on photos is professional photos are critical to the sale of a home, but won't do any good if the home is not cleaned up or organized and presented properly. A home in disarray is still a home in disarray no matter how good the photos are. Now that I think of it, I'll give you a bonus. So here's number 12. Number 12 is staging. Whether it's staging or properly cleaning up and preparing a home on your own, hiring a stager to properly stage a home is critical in this challenging real estate market, especially if the home is vacant. Now, staging can net you 10 to 20% more money when you sell the home. If a home doesn't present well, it follows that it won't photograph well, sell well, or even sell at the highest price. So clean it up. If you were buying a used car, would you buy one with gum wrappers hidden under the seat or cigarette butts and ashes in the ashtray? Okay, old school, I know, but you get the point. Or would you want the used car to be cleaned up and polished so you can feel good about buying it? That's a rhetorical question there. Okay, so what's the bottom line here? I'd say for your house to sell in this challenging market, heed the 12 points I mentioned. Hire the right realtor, present an excellent product to the buyer, and above all, price it properly. If you follow my suggestions, you will have a successful sale. And if you're the owner of an expired home, please reach out to me and we can have a frank discussion of why your home didn't sell. Pun intended. Please like and subscribe so you're guaranteed to get all of our current helpful videos, and please feel free to share these useful videos with your family and friends. And this is Frank Kenny with Living in Los Angeles, and I'll see you on my next video.